Hey, I'm B, and that's me running. I'm the nutter that decided it would be a good idea to run the length of the Cotswold Way. And that's my friend Rachel, who did not think to question my sanity when I suggested it. So we're in Camden and we are looking for the start of the Cotswold Way. The Cotswold Way is a 102-mile footpath that runs from the quaint village of Chipping Camden all the way to Bath in the south of the Cotswolds. The idea is that it takes in all of the viewpoints, all of the historical points, as well as dropping you into every little quaint village that the Cotswold is famous for. We started off running, but soon realised that it was a little hillier than expected and had to resort to walking a fair bit of it, which is why we called it Jeffing the Cotswold Way, as the term to Jeff is to do a mix of both running and walking. We have found the Cotswold Way traffic jam. So one of the things about the Cotswold Way is that they unnecessarily take you up the hills so that then you get the view. And I think we've been quite lucky with them now because the hills didn't seem that bad. But this one is a killer. We're just on our way up to go back down into Winchcombe. 30k, 6 hours, and we've made it to Winchcombe. Legs are hurting now, feet are hurting, knees are hurting. We're going to push on for another 10-12k so that we can break the back of the marathon. But first, we're going to get coffee, brownie, shortbread millionaire, lunch. The chocolate is the lunch. So we climbed all the way to Knapp Hill, which is more or less at the same level as Cleeve Hill, the highest point in the Cotswold Way. And now we're going all the way back down again so that we can climb all the way up to Cleeve Hill. And how are you feeling, Rachel?
My knees hurt.
We are having a bit of a sense of humour failure right now. We're tired. We've been going 36k. Got a couple hours left to go before Nick picks us up, and don't want to do another hill. We were wet, we were cold, but 26 miles completed and ready for bed. Morning! Time to start day 2. Very early on we were able to see where we needed to go, but it seemed an awfully long way away. So we are trying to make up some time. The last hour has been really hilly and it's flattened out a bit, so now we're making the most of the grassy trail, though I seem to have lost Rachel. She's there. Here she comes. But it's beautiful around here. Just have a look. Today was proving to be particularly hilly, and just when we got to the top we would see more steps and we'd see it go higher, and it was pretty demoralising. But we kept on going, we kept on jogging, we kept on pulling uphill, and whenever we could we enjoyed the views. Every now and then we'd get rewarded with spotting wildlife, just like here where we got to see Bambi. 28k in and we have made it to the cheese rolling hill, which is insanely steep. I'm not sure that even does it justice, but it is ridiculous. Luckily we only have to walk down the bottom of it. Okay, I lied. Actually, it wasn't a lie. I didn't look at the map. And we do go up it, and it's bloody steep. We're just getting to the top of it. Let me show you the view from the top. We're here. That is a bloody hill. That way. The hills really did start to get the better of us, and we were both in agony. So we didn't manage to make it as far as we wanted to and had to call it quits before we reached our 42k for the day. Morning number 3. We are feeling quite sore. Rachel's got massive blisters on her feet, which is really not nice. And the sun is shining, and we're going to try and do 24k today so that we will have done 100k over the weekend, which will be the furthest either of us have ever done. So let's do it. Day 3 was beautiful, but it was hard. We were both sore from 2 days of more mileage than we'd ever done, and the hills were still relentless, and although we kept on plodding, there was definitely no running involved at this stage. We were just trying to keep our heads above water and keep going and keep fueling and just put one step in front of the other to see if we could make it to that 100k. The Cotswold Way passes right by Rachel's house, and because we were both absolutely destroyed, we decided to stop in for coffee. Probably a bad idea considering we sat on the sofa and found it rather hard to move, but we did decide that we should probably push on. There was only 8k to go. We could do it. It wasn't pretty though. We weren't particularly glamorous. Rather stiff, rather slow, everything aching. We just plodded. No jeffing, no running, no jogging, no trotting. Just a plod. And a bit of silliness, of course. Eventually we made it though. We made the 100k, and I think my smile says it all. I was absolutely over the moon that we'd got to the 100k. Back where we started last Sunday, and time to start trotting. But first, check out that view. One of the nicest things of the Cotswold Way has to have been discovering all the nature that is actually on our doorstep that we probably never realised or never looked to see that it was actually there. Least favourite thing, however, was the hills. No jeffing, just hills. And calves are burning. And I thought I'd just do a video, so it took my mind of the actual climb. But it's all good fun. It's not like it's boiling hot, and sweat's definitely not pouring off us. Oh, but when we get to the top, we're having chocolate, so it's all worth it. We found strays.
Can always count on Suki, my little dog, to re-energise me and get me going again. It was rather lovely to do part of the walk with her. Run, I should say, run, we were running. We are in the beautiful village of Hawkesbury. 33k in, which is nearly halfway to the finish line for this weekend, but we're going to push on, see if we can get a marathon done. Knees are pretty shattered from last weekend, so we've probably only run about 7k or so, 5k, 3k, 1k. We have run a bit, but we've also realised that our fast walking pace is actually faster than our running pace. So we're just going for a fast walk. But for now, we're resting our feet. We just had a nice shortbread millionaire, and we're going to hit the trail again.
Just to prove, we are actually running some of the Cotswold Way. We might be walking a great deal of it too, but that's why we're jumping.
As well as running though, we did stop a fair bit to take in the views because, let's face it, they are absolutely stunning. Don't ask, apparently it was more comfortable than walking down the hill.
We did a marathon. Nice spot to finish with a little church. Morning! Last day, 28k to go. It's nice and sunny. My water's leaking, my knees are in agony, but we're going to try and trot as much of it as we can.
Our final day started off in the poshest ever estate I have ever seen. Even the electric fence was all aluminium, I'm sure. Before we continued on to Todmarton, where we encountered some rather different kind of Cotswold Way walkers. Although still very pretty, the final day just really didn't compare to the rest of the Cotswold Way, which was a bit of a letdown as we were finishing it off. And rather than finishing on a high, we were kind of gradually going into more and more of a low, probably not aided by the fact that we were absolutely knackered. But our shortbread millionaires did keep us going, and we did still get to see some amazing houses. The fact that we were no longer sound probably didn't help with our spirits. However, I tell you what did, this little cow's nose. I absolutely love cows, and they all came to greet us. Yay! At long last, that is Bath in the distance.
We are now making our way. We've been joined by Nick, who you can see there, who jumped out of a bush at us to scare us, but has managed to pick us up and make us walk a little bit faster. So, but has also broken the news that once we get into Bath, it's like 4k to get to the Abbey. So the 28k we set out to do this morning, no, but we'll get there. So we got into Bath, and now we're climbing out of Bath so we can climb back into Bath. And I want to have a rant, not about the climbing or the going downhill, but the rudeness of individuals everywhere actually, because every time I've seen someone I've gone, hi. I don't know if that's too much for the British population, but the majority have either gone, hi, or have ignored me completely. And I thought I was going to make friends for life on this journey. So we're done. We can't find a plaque that says that we've walked from Chipping Campden because it is behind this really sightly, very appealing, whatever you call it, I'm too tired. But there's a cathedral, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I was more excited by the 100k.
Somehow we found 6 miles more than the actual official route